At Worlds, Sha'Carri and Lyles feel they found something among those long-awaited cheers in Tokyo. Tokyo AP. America's two big-name sprinters, Sha'Carri Richardson and Noah Lyles, both walked off the track Saturday with reason to think they might have found what's been missing over a less-than-perfect 2025. What a place to find it, at the World Championships in Tokyo. A metropolis that's been waiting for long years for a chance to cheer on the world's fastest stars. Both defending world champions won their preliminary heats in the 100 meters. Those results should surprise nobody, but they still brought bursts of joy, both from the runners and from the loud sellout crowd that was absent 4 years ago, when Japan National Stadium was the centerpiece of a COVID-tainted Olympics. Last one, I could hear my own thoughts echoing off the wall, Lyles said of the Tokyo Games. So, completely different. Lyles won his heat in 9.95 seconds, the same time posted by Jamaica's Kishane Thompson, who only ran hard for about the first 60 meters of his race. Lyles beat Thompson by .005 seconds at the Paris Olympics last year, and though the American comes in as an underdog this time, he feels he unlocked something in practice over the last week. I was tightening my muscles, and every time I tighten my muscles, my stride gets shorter, and that's why I wasn't getting the results I wanted, said Lyles, who still hasn't cracked 9.9 this year. He loosened up and suddenly, he said, "It's working." Richardson has been in even rougher shape, slowed by an injury for most of the year. She was slow out of the starting blocks in this one, a typical problem of hers, but when she gets things into top gear, still elite. Her winning time of 11.03 seconds was her best of the year. Not great by any means, but trending upward. "I know that this year is not what I ideally saw as being my golden year," she said. "But when I think of golden now, I think of buried treasure, and sometimes you've got to dig through the dirt to get to the gold." The semifinals and finals for both 100s are set for Sunday, with all the top contenders, including U.S. champ Melissa Jefferson Wooden, Olympic champ Julian Alfred, Lyles' frenemy Kenny Bednarik, and Jamaica's Oblique Seville, still in the mix. Also advancing to the final, this one for long jump, was Olympic champion Tara Davis-Woodhull, who only needed one jump to move through. She finished 6th here 4 years ago in front of empty seats. On this trip, she noticed that when she waved to the fans, they didn't hoot and holler, but simply waved back. Chebet's time of 30 minutes, 37.61 seconds was pedestrian by her standards, but the gold medal will look just as good. Last year, she became the first woman to crack 29 minutes over the 25-lap race. There's a possibility of a tantalizing showdown in the 5,000 next weekend between Chebet and Faith Kipyegon, the 1,500-meter world record holder, who advanced easily through her 1,500 heat. U.S. holds off Femke Bol for mixed relay win. The American 4x400 mixed relay team built a lead that not even comeback artist Femke Bol of the Netherlands could overcome. Bol, who has rallied her relay teams to amazing wins in 2023 and 2024, couldn't close a massive gap on the anchor lap in this one. Alexis Holmes crossed the line 1.16 seconds ahead of Bol to give the U.S. the gold. Bol still gets credit for moving from 5th to 2nd over her final lap. She'll be the favorite in the 400 hurdles next week and will likely get another shot at the relay in the women's 4x400. ____. The roar didn't just echo in the stadium, it echoed in their bones. Sha'Carri Richardson stood at the edge of the track, her golden orange hair catching the stadium lights like fire, chest rising and falling in sharp rhythm. Behind her, the cheers thundered like waves crashing on a distant beach. The 100-meter final was over. She had crossed the line first, and for a long second, she couldn't move. Noah Lyles, a few meters away, was pacing like a caged lion after his own race, sweat glistening on his brow, his hands gripping the American flag, now draped across his shoulders. The 200-meter title was his, again, but this time it felt different. This time the noise didn't fade. It filled him. They had both come to Tokyo before, but back then, Tokyo hadn't given them what it gave them tonight. Or maybe they weren't ready to receive it. Sha'Carri, the silence before the storm. The last time Sha'Carri had been this close to an Olympic dream, she had lost more than a medal. She lost herself, at least for a while. The public had taken her name and tossed it into headlines and hashtags, dissecting every word, every step, every inhale. But what they never saw, what they never cared to understand, was what it meant to run not just with your legs, but with your soul in rebellion. Tonight, under the electric sky of Tokyo's rebuilt Olympic Stadium, she felt none of that burden. Not because the world had forgotten, but because she had forgiven herself. The gun had gone off, and she exploded out of the blocks like a secret finally unleashed. Not chasing redemption, she was done with that. Redemption was for those trying to earn back what they'd lost. Sha'Carri wasn't here to earn anything. She was here to claim. As she crossed the finish line, her scream wasn't celebration. It was release. A sound that cracked the atmosphere, primal and pure. For a second, the stadium paused, not silent, but stunned, and then erupted. Real cheers. Not polite applause, not social media approval. Real human sound. The kind of sound that tells you, you belong here. Noah, the battle within. Noah Lyles had won before. Titles, medals, diamond leagues, you name it. He was the face of speed and charisma. But even he would admit, the shine had faded in recent years. He had smiled through doubt. He had danced through pressure. But underneath, the storm had brewed. And then came the lows, the interviews where he fumbled for joy that wasn't there. The races where his body moved like it remembered but his mind resisted. The expectations, the identity crisis. Was he still the same runner? Was he still the kid who used to laugh before every final because he knew he was going to win? Tonight he didn't laugh. He didn't even smile before the race. He stood still, listening. He listened for the quiet voice inside, the one he drowned out with noise, fame, performance. It was faint, but it was there. Run like it matters. Not to them. To you. When the race started, Lyles didn't chase gold. He chased freedom. And when he hit the curve, he flew. Crossing the line ahead of the field, the old Lyles might have thrown his hands up in showmanship, played to the cameras. But this time, he just looked up into the lights, breathing, eyes shimmering. I'm still here, he whispered. I'm still me. What they found, it wasn't the medals. They'd won medals before. It wasn't even the validation. That had come in fleeting, fickle moments over the years, cheers that turned into critiques, fans that vanished at the first stumble.